star when I'm speeding. Yo, passport tatted, my luggage got mileage. Whip so quiet I can meditate in silence. Money talk smooth, I don't raise my voice. If you really got it, then you don't need the noise. GQ posture, my bank account's monstrous. Talk about drive, I got options and an iced wrist. I don't chase streams, I just invoice them. Making pay for views like admission with that new vision. Big coat drag when I step through summer. Pocket full of sins and I bless two others. All the mess face looking like back damn whole wrist cold. Bitch, it might snow in Japan. My worst day is your highlight reel. They play rich while I sign tight deals. Said he wants smoke, but I light mine still. Still cook beats, Michelin type meals. Yo, and the flow's got bass like a drunken confession. Talk slick, walk slick, the tongue of aggression. Every line like a toast to my teenage dreams. Now I sip on success while it's bubbling clean. I need that fur to drag. Big boy stance with that chauffeur tag. Whole team eating off plates I bag. Talk big game, but them checks don't lag. Yo, silk on my skin while my sins got fabric. Mansion talk quiet and my life is cinematic. They preach a name like a new fanatic. If you ain't built different, bitch, don't panic.
Ladies and gentlemen, race fans from near and far, welcome to the Brute Utes series held by Rangiart. Each race will be live and broadcasted every Tuesday night right here on Sensational TV. This is Road Atlanta. Today we gather on hallowed ground, 4 miles of elevation changes, blind corners and high-speed commitment. A track that doesn't just test machines but demands courage, precision and respect from every driver who takes the green flag. Behind the wheel are competitors who've spent countless hours here preparing for this moment. In the garages, we've got crews who live for these seconds. And the stands have got fans. They all know they're at Road Atlanta and what can happen here. From the charge into turn 1, through the S's and all the way down, that famous plunge into turn 12, you're about to witness speed, strategy and skill at their absolute limit. Buckle in, stay on your feet, make some noise for the drivers who are about to put it all on the line. Race fans, it's time to kick these brute utes into gear and tear it up. And welcome everyone to the Rangiart Tuesday Brute Ute series. I'm Dean, I'll be your host, and I've got Pete with me. Welcome to the box, Pete.
Thank you very much. Very keen to see how this new series goes. And as you said, every Tuesday night for the foreseeable future. So you've always got something on your calendar now to mark down as a bit of entertainment in your evening.
Mate, this series will be an absolute cracker. These utes are so much fun to drive. They're loose, they're unpredictable. It's going to have guys slipping and sliding everywhere. And look at the names in the field, Pete. We've got some big names here tonight.
Oh, the names are bringing back memories to Wednesday Cup and plenty of other series that all of these drivers drive in. And as you can see, we've actually got a newcomer, John Astrop. He's currently topping the times by mere 300s in that practice session. So we're in for a treat when it comes to qualifying. It's only 10 minutes. It's a decently long track, and you can see that it's a minute 32 per lap. So they're only going to get a couple of attempts to try and get a lap in.
Definitely. They're not going to get much of a chance. And the guys here, they're all competitive. I just see Lee's just dropped in there with a 1:32.085. So in the dying seconds of practice, we've got another time that's coming up the top. I mean, it's going to be tight all the way down that field. There's not much of a spread there.
Yeah, not much of a spread at all. It's going to be very interesting. These cars are very, very unpredictable to drive. You need to really grab it by the scruff of its neck. It's got 413 horsepower, so it's got plenty of power coming out of that V8. They weigh about 1,800 kilos, so plenty of a weight as well. So high horsepower, heavy cars, they're just going to be an absolute boat, but that's what makes them just so entertaining. And with a top speed of about 270 kph, expect it to be fast racing as well.
Definitely. And I also give you the hot tip. These things, a little tap in the back, geez, it makes them move. Anyone tapping, if you think you can bump draft in these things, I mean, I think you better start thinking again. It's not going to be, they're not fun to do that in, I can tell you.
Yeah, these cars just, with the way they handle, all these drivers are going to have to play it clean. You can get a little bit argy-bargy, but it's not going to be much of a touch for them to spear off to either side of this circuit. And you can see as well, as they're coming out the lane for qualifying, there is not much room for error. Dip a wheel onto the grass will just suck you off and you are away into the wall. If you take too much curb, same story, you're off into a wall, tyre barriers everywhere. This will take absolutely no prisoners.
Definitely, mate. This track is so unforgiving. I've actually been doing a few laps with the guys in preparation here, and you get a wheel on that grass and it's all over. It's not an easy car to get back on the track and get back in your rhythm. These things are they're as unpredictable as they come, mate.
Yeah, and the slick tyres as well just makes it that little bit more difficult as well. It gives you plenty of grip on the tarmac, but the moment you try and push the limits and maybe dip a tyre into that grass, there's absolutely no grip. And once you start getting one wheel spinning, the other one all gripped up on the tarmac, that's when the thing comes an absolutely handful to handle around here, especially Road Atlanta. You know, there's plenty of corners here that require plenty of commitment. I'm talking the braking zone of 10A because that's a completely downhill braking zone. As they're coming into it now, you can just see how steep it is on the way down. So you're going to have to get that absolutely nailed, and there's a gravel trap there to meet you as Colston Slow nearly actually goes into it, and we've had a couple of people already trying to find the limits. So yeah, plenty of corners around here. You need the ultimate commitment. 10A is one. You need a good exit off 10B to get that good run through 11 and 12, because that run through 11 and 12 sets you up to turn 1, and then it's just the S's sections all the way up to turn 6. So this entire track is all about momentum.
100% it's all about momentum. It's about keeping it together. It is, I mean, it couldn't be a truer statement than this track of slow in, fast out. You try to come in too quick on these, you try to get a little over adventurous, and it'll just push you straight in that grass. You'll hit those curbs, especially this curb coming up to this right-hander. You need to cut that just right, then the left-hander, all through these guys, and then you just sort of straighten out here. If you take too much here, there's a little gravel trap on that outside, which Cole's just touched it with his back wheel, and you lose so much time. You can be on a cracker of a lap, one little mistake, touch that gravel, and it's all over.
Yeah, exactly. You also don't want to be a bit too aggressive as well on the exit, because get too aggressive on the exit, you're only going to slow yourself up for that little straight you've got between turns 5 and 6. And again, turn 6 flows into turn 7. Turn 7 is really one of those corners, probably the only corner where you can kind of mess it up just a little bit and not lose too much time, because it's pretty much a right-hand 90-degree corner. So you can kind of get away with it a little bit, but again, running that a little bit wide is just going to absolutely ruin you, because it flows onto this big, long back straight with turn 8s and turn 9 in them as well before heading to this crucial braking zone.
And this braking zone, you do not want to mess this up. You get too close, you've got a nice little draft with someone, and all it's going to take is for them to brake just a little early, and you're straight up the back of them. And as I said before, you just touch the back of these Utes. You've got to think about it in real life, people, the physics. There's no weight over these back wheels, and that is exactly how these things feel when you're driving. There's no weight over the back wheel, so any little slide, any little movement. Oh, and I'm just noticing, mate, we're starting to get some lap times in now. Fergo's just under 32. That's getting down to the lap times we saw in practice.
Yeah, that's nearly on the money to what we saw in practice. It was definitely a low 32 we saw in practice. I've already blanked on what the exact time was, but I reckon we might be able to see a 31 if someone is absolutely on it and with no traffic, because you can see there on the minimap down in the bottom corner, they're all kind of within the same half of the circuit, so it's only going to take one of them to make a mistake, and then the rest of the field has got to take either evasive action or has got to back it out of their lap to avoid any further dramas.
Definitely. In quali, that's the hardest thing to do, is to find a little spot there. Let's have a look at Fergo. He's doing a great job. We've got tucked in behind him there. That looks like Jason tucked right in behind him, trying to get a bit of a draft. Everyone's trying to go for the lap, but I think you just need to space it out a little bit. Jason now proving my point with the draft there, just trying to get up nice and behind, trying to get a bit of a run, but it's hard when everyone's trying to have a go on their own. You need to just slow down, find your own bit of real estate, get your lap down, get your head together, and just post a time on the board. That's all we need to do at the moment. But let's have a look through the field if you like, Pete. You want to run us through the field at the moment?
Yeah, so at the moment, you've got Ferguson was setting the pace. He's on a 32.3, and if we just stick with it there for a moment, you could see that using all of the curb available on the entry, and he doesn't actually improve, so maybe copped a little bit of track limits there, but the man who was faster, so John Ostrop, he has gone faster. So you could see him in the background while we were talking before. At least I took note. This Coca-Cola machine was absolutely sideways on the corner exits. He understands that a little bit sliding in these cars is absolutely the way to go. The brakes are absolutely glowing, so he is using every part of this car that he has got available to him in those classic Coca-Cola colors, and you can see that on the slide through that part of the S's, and now he's trying to keep it as straight as possible because these cars, they hate braking and turning at the same time, and you could see the wheel work that he was doing heading through this next section. That was turn 5 he just went through, and a little bit of opposite lock just to help him get through just that a bit nicer, and again, braking in a straight line, turning it in, trying to keep the sliding to a little bit of a minimum, and it was through here, notably, where I saw him get it completely sideways, and look at that, right on cue, that big chuck of opposite lock. And that's going to hamper his exit just a little bit. But again, he's getting on the power nice and early, so hopefully it kind of evens out for him a bit.
Definitely. It looks like just a bit of a slide there and you lose all your speed. Let's go down through the field. We've got Ferguson. He's coming back out. He's going to have another go now. He's sitting in second at the moment. I still expect to see that TR drop down a bit. Third, we've got Willie. Someone's had a spin there. We've just missed that in the background. And here he is, Fabian Fitness, the Wednesday Cup man. What's he got for us tonight? He's sitting in 4th. And then have a look who's in 5th. Shall we go to 5th, Pete? Let's have a look.
Oh, it is only the Zach O'Reilly. There's only one of him, as he classically says in all of his streams, in the Jetstar car. And it is, I must say, I'm very happy to see him in a Ford. I was quite concerned he'll go for the Commodore. But the Auckland Steel Falcon looks the part in this series, and he will be definitely one to be trying to challenge for that pole position. At the moment, he does sit at just over 0.6 of a second away, but hopefully that's more to do with just trying to get a clean lap in with as little traffic as possible, and there's 2 cars directly in front of him, and it looks like he might even just get a little bit held up through this final corner. Uses a lot of curb well out onto the exit, and he doesn't improve on that lap, so he has to keep trying to go again. He's only going to get 2 more attempts at this as we've now gone under 3 minutes in the session. Definitely,
and let's keep going. Oh, he's had a bit of a sideways kick there. It's sloppy, but let's have a look. Keep going through the field. We've got Ezra in 6. Here's Ezra with a great time, and then behind him is his compatriot, usually his teammate. We've got Dion Clark. Remo there, another one of the crew. He's in 8th. And here we go. Here's Jason McFadden himself, the man of the hour. Let's see what Jason can do tonight. And then just after Jace, we've got Gray Ward coming through. Tommy Corks. Here's Cookie. He's the other Rangiart guy. Geez, there's a few Rangiart cars out there tonight, Pete. You'd want to watch out for that gaggle.
Yeah, they're quick drivers as well, so definitely have to keep an eye out on these ones. They'll be definitely trying to prove their way through the field a little bit more if they were to finish as they are down in 12th position. But I have also just noticed Paul in the background as well. 0.3 of a second away from getting into that P12 position. So it's only going to be about trying to get that one corner that maybe he is struggling at absolutely right, and he could fly himself absolutely up the order just that little bit further. He's only, let's say, about half a second away from getting inside the top 11. He'll need to find about a second's worth if he wants to get inside the top 10, but he's definitely one of those drivers that if he can put a lap together here in these dying moments of qualifying, he should, by his location on the track, just squeeze in another lap if he's quick enough around this first one here.
Definitely, if he can get it going on. There's a lot of slide there, but he has a control slide. Let's keep going through. We've got Sadler. Here's Sadler. He's always a battler. This guy, I'll be watching out for him tonight. And Wallace. Oh, Sadler. I've just caught a great slide there. I had to go back to it. That was a great drive. And then we've got Wallace. Wallace here in the Jim Beach. Geez, that's a nice looking Falcon, isn't it? Not that I'm biased, but that is a good looking Falcon.
Takes you back to those like 2012 days of V8 Supercars, doesn't it, seeing a lot of these liveries?
Mate, it definitely does, and what a time it was. We just caught Rob there having a bit of a spin out. Then we go down, we've got Liam Hanley. He's driving the Autometer, no relation. Just kidding, go son. And then we've got Salmon in 20th. Liam Hollyoak, my adopted son. Geez, that's a livery for everyone, isn't it?
Oh, it really stands out, and I guess that's one thing a lot of commentators say is that if you want us to talk about you more, have a car that stands out. It's going to be so much easier to talk about someone who's got a car that absolutely stands out and is in a class of its own when it comes to delivery. I could not imagine how long that would have taken to bring that up in Photoshop.
That's a cracker, that one. I love it. And then we got Cosmo. Welcome, Cosmo. Look at him. He's down there. He's trying to put in the time. We got Sullivan in the VB. Doesn't get more Aussie than that, does it? And then,
Absolutely.
and then in 24th we've got Streets, and then 25th we've got Buck. Sorry, Buck. And that's it for qualifying. Is there anyone who's going to bank about it? Oh, look
Zach
at that!
O'Reilly.
Bang!
In at the clutches of qualifying, goes for a 32 flat. What did I say early on in this session? If he's going to be able to get a lap together, he is absolutely going to be on it for a pole position. And there you go. He's cleared the field by 0.2 of a second.
This man in the dying moments, I mean, just when you write him off, bang, there it is. I wonder if that was orchestrated. And then let's go to second. We've got Astrop in second. I'm not sure if any of these guys will be able to change how this totem tower looks now. Ferguson in third. I'm not sure if he can better that time. Probably not sliding like that. We got Willie in fourth. Fabian, here he is, our Wednesday Cup champion. Look at him. He's up there in fifth. That's not a bad effort in these cars. Ezra in sixth. Dion seventh. Remo eighth. Jason McFadden, he's in ninth. He'll be happy with that. I reckon he would have thought he could have got up there a little bit more. Gray Ward, and then let's move on from there, Pete. Who have we got after Gray?
Oh, we got Andre Elliott. He was one of the race winners in Wednesday Cup in those TVR Tuscans, so it's a mighty different car, and he finds himself now just outside of that top 10, and he is in one of those Rangiart cars, one of the many racing here tonight at Road Atlanta, so keep an eye out for him. His race pace is absolutely mega, so expect him to try and get himself a top 10 finish here. Tommy Corks, at the dying moments, will get himself inside the top 10, so that's a brilliant lap of 33.4, and clears P11, which is Gray Ward, by only 500ths of a second. So very close stuff up and down the field. Hayden Cook is in 13th, and then it's Alan Paul in 14th, and Hayden Wallace in 15th in that beautiful Jim Beam liveried car. And then it is Sadler in 16th position, Priest in 17th, and we've got Hanley in 18th, Solomon in 19th. He's managed to find a gravel trap somewhere around the circuit, so well done to him. At the moment, I don't think it's a bit of a time for a beach session, but you do you. And then you got Holyoke in at 20th, and then just outside the top 20 is Cosmo, Sullivan, and Streets, and Buck as well to round out the field. And we have got race one coming up soon, don't we, Dino?
We do, mate. So let's get ready for race one, guys. Go and refill those drinks. Let's get prepped. This is about to get serious. These guys are about to throw down in what will be a very, very loose car. We'll be right back in a second.
Motto is that safe drivers are lifesavers. If your organisation shares this belief and are planning to improve driver education in your community, SDT Simulator Driver Training has the solution. Many of our simulator users are also gaining a revenue stream by taking their simulators to events and schools for driver education programs. The system can also be set up to run motorsport simulation. Many leading racing drivers are now using simulators to improve their skills. Such software can also be used to show drivers they are not as skilled as they think they are. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Contact Simulator Driver Training for more information.
Welcome back to the V8 Brute Super Series. We have got a 20-minute sprint race coming up for you. It is going to be hectic. If we saw anything from qualifying, these cars are hard to control, and when you put 24 others on the circuit at the same time, we have got an absolute recipe for you here tonight. So let's do a quick run through the field as we get ready for the green lights at race 1. You've got Zach O'Reilly at the clutches, grabbed himself a pole position and sits on that first place starting spot. And then it is John Astrop in the Coca-Cola machine, right at the end got nipped of his pole position and sits on the front row. And then it's Andrew Ferguson and Willie on the second row of the grid in his Hot Wheels machine. And then it is the reigning Wednesday Cup champion, Fabian Fitness. He is currently in 5th position with Remo Grand in 6th position, but I can see the lights are now up on the screen. So we're getting ready for a race start here. It's the first ever one for the V8 Brutes Super Series. We're on every Tuesday night. So let's get racing here for Sensational TV, and it's an excellent start for Zach O'Reilly. He is absolutely out of here from that first place starting position, but John Ostrop looks like he's also had a really good start, but it's the second phase of the race start in favour of Zach O'Reilly, and he would go in to turn 1 completely unaltered and unchallenged, I should say, and he pulls away for an early small lead, and behind it is going to be absolutely on. They're going to be finding their own pieces of real estate. They're trying to get the tyres up to temperature, and it looks like in the background they were nearly 3 wide going through the S's. That is extremely brave stuff, and you can see them still trying to fight. They're still going side by side, a little bit of wheel contact there, and using all of the curve. That was a brilliant move by Jason McFadden. Expect him to climb all the way up through the field. He was second in the Wednesday Cup Championship, and it really was on to try and claim that title away from Fabian Fitness in 15th position at the moment. And there is the reigning champion in that 5th position, all over the back of Willie there in the Hot Wheels machine, and he is going to be looking to try and see if he can't shape up a bit of a dive bomb coming into this next braking zone. But as we said, that is going to be a very brave move because it is a very steep downhill decline.
Definitely a steep downhill decline. These guys, the field starting now, they've spread out just a little bit. I've just noticed Andre here. He's right on the back of Remo. This could be an overtaking opportunity. He's moved it over to the inside. Is he going to make this one stick? He's got up alongside here. All he needs to do is hold his line. He's held the line. Remo's backed out, but how gentlemanly was that? And that's Andre through. There's more movers and shakers. Gray's just come through. He's just gone around. Cole's too slow. Cole's too slow might have had an incident there because Paul also got around. And then in the background, I can see here's Cookie. Cookie. Oh, there's a car. There's a car on the grid. There is a car on the grid. I hope that is not my car. Let's try. That's my car on the grid. Oh, guys, I'm sorry about that. Let's go back to the racing now. Fabian's had an incident here. He's had a bit of a crash. I hope that's not the car on the grid as well. If it is, I've sort of got these guys. I don't know what's happening here, Pete. I'm trying to keep it all together. It just looks like I've left my car on the grid.
Yeah, well, hopefully it was just a case of he ran wide on the exit turn 1, got onto the grass and tried to keep his foot down to the floor, and he just looped it around, because if it was anything to do with the car, he must have had a tank slapper going on for about half a kilometre and ended up losing it, and that would have been some replay to watch. But further up the field here, you've got Cole here. He is trying to get some of those positions back. We saw him on the opening lap. He fell through the field just that little bit in the Kmart car, and at one point was behind the Irwin Tools car, right behind him. now finds himself back up into that 11th position, and that would have been aided as well by Fabian going for a little bit of a spin there. But that now only descends the red mist for Fabian as well, because we've seen that when he needs to do some catching up, he is an absolute man that cannot not be stopped. Out in front, though, Zach O'Reilly has now exceeded that 1 second distance between first and second, and so he is absolutely out again. You can see the racing lines that he's taking. He is absolutely on it, and setting fastest laps as well. 31.6 is absolutely wicked pace, especially for race pace as well, because he's going to be a little bit heavier on foot than he was in qualifying. So this is absolutely brilliant stuff.
A 31.6. This guy is on fire. He's come tonight with a point to prove, and I tell you what, he's going to try and prove it. We're looking all through the field here. There's stuff coming on. If I just go all the way back to 22nd, here's Fabian. He's trying to come through the field. Something's happened here with Paul. He's off. Oh, he's in the gravel. He is in the gravel, which has just given everyone a free pass that was behind him. Sadler looked like he was behind him there, and that's given him a chance to get up and go around. Just trying to see what battles are nice and close at the moment. There's a fair bit going on all up and down the field. But Zach now, he's got that out to a second, and that seems to have stayed around a second. So Astrop here, he's put the hammer down. He's going for it. Ferguson right in behind him too. He's trying to get dragged along. Then there's a bit of a gap there back to Willie. Then we go to Ezra. Ezra in fifth there. He's sitting nicely on the back of Willie. He's trying to get through. Dion's with him as well. And Corksy. We can't ride off Corksy, can we, mate?
Absolutely not, especially when he's going to be running a bit of a Tickford Racing setup as well. So expect him to be absolutely fired up. He's got the secret sauce on that Falcon. And I've also been noticing that I reckon either Zach has been making a couple of little mistakes, or he has been backing off the pace just a little bit, because that gap is now nearly halved, because John Astrop now is within a second, and at one point only half a second away. So either Zach has backed off the pace, or the other two have whipped up some pace absolutely out of nowhere, because these top three are now starting to really close it in. But even though they're not currently battling it out door to door, don't be fooled about the pace these guys are currently running, and that is why they're currently in the top three, and personal best lap times is being set all the way up and down the field. The battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th is definitely looking like it's heating up, and the three of them nearly separated by just over a second.
Yeah, these guys are starting to tighten up here. I saw the gap come right down. I've just noticed too, I've just seen the foreground just behind that. Andre's starting to come right up on the back of Tommy now. So he's going to have a go. That was a beautiful slide. How was that for a controlled slide in this Ute? They're not easy to get on that slip angle and hold it there. So he's doing a great job. And then I can't take my eyes off it, mate. If I go back up the front here, Fergo, he's closing up on Astrop. So I just saw that was down to 0.3 before, so he's starting to close up the gap. So what's going to have to happen here is Astrop's going to have to try and close that gap to Zach, or he's going to have his hands full with Fergo.
Yeah, absolutely right. Maybe a little bit of a mistake as well, because that gap to Zach has jumped out to nearly 2 seconds. So I'm going to say it was probably more of a small mistake from John somewhere, maybe a little bit of a bigger slide that he was anticipating, because definitely a little bit of a slide is the fastest way around here. Too much of it, you're losing yourself some lap speed here. As you can see, a little bit of wheel work there for Andrew heading through the exit of 10B, but he's setting himself up nicely to try and get a good run. The gap as they cross the start-finish line to go on to the next one is about half a second separates second and third. So this is going to be a very interesting battle to watch as the race transpires.
Definitely, these guys are going to go hard at it. And here's Andre. I just saw that transpiring in the background. I thought something's happening here. He's got Corksy. Dr. Dre is in the house. He's gone up the inside. This is going to be hard to hold though, because these corners go left, then right, and it gets real tight, real quick. And then you've got a left-hander here, then it goes back around to the right. I know this sounds cliche, but it's how it is. Someone's going to have to get out of this. Corksy just backs off it a little bit, but that leaves Andre vulnerable. He's lost a lot of speed. If Corksy can get a good run here, and then Remo in the background, Remo's decided, hang on a minute, I want a piece of this too. These guys, and someone, Coles, it looks like, he's ran wide there, just touched that gravel trap. That thing's dangerous out there. As I said, you get a wheel in it and you'll lose all your momentum. What else is happening through the field? Let's have a look. Cookie, he's starting to close in on Wallace here. Now, Cookie lost a fair few places there off the start. He seems to be making up a few now. He's just trying to get his head together, but right behind him, 5 seconds off the pace, here comes Fabian. I'd love to see where he finishes.
Through the field as well, hasn't he?
Absolutely coming through the field, mate. I'm super excited to see where he finishes on this one. I'd love to know what happened.
Yeah, it would definitely be something to work out what happened post-stream. My I'm taking a punt now at it. It was just a case of running wide on the exit of the first corner as he came around. It would have been the first time on heavy fuel going through there at pace as well. So wouldn't be surprised, yeah, just a little bit of a run wide and tried to keep the foot pinned and it went for a bit of a spin. Very easy to spin these cars as well, as I said. But very heavy cars, high horsepower, low grip, no aero, so you've got no helping as well. It's just going to be all about how well you can do this thing around this very challenging circuit. And on cue, the slide that Remo Grand just had, we caught the tail end of it. We caught the tail end of his Commodore there. They've gone all over the shop, but the Valvoline car driving at the moment as if it's got a bit of that Valvoline oil all over the rear tyres. And he is trying to close up that gap in front to Tommy Corks. We saw him right on the back of them as they were having a battle between Andre Elliott and Corks there. And the gap has opened up just a little bit, so maybe doesn't quite have the pace to run with Elliott and Corks and managed to close up as they were battling and costing each other time.
Definitely, they're starting to spread out a little bit more now. We can start to see the field. I mean, the closest we've got at the moment is Cookie. Cookie trying to catch up to Wallace there. He's still on the charge, still trying to get up to the back of him. If he can just get up there to the draft zone, he'll be able to do it. But I mean, look in the background. In the background, I hate to go on about this man, but he's not that far behind. Fabian is coming through. He is going to try and get this done. He is going to push for his life here. So he's at 15th at the moment. Let's see how far up he can come. I did notice though, Pete, Astrop did a lap time before that was a 1:31.5, which was the fastest lap of the race. So he's still on it. He's still pushing hard.
Yeah, the top three still running fantastic pace at the moment. Zach O'Reilly, though, falling down the field, has he disconnected? I reckon he disconnected because I saw his car blip off the screen. And if that is going to be the case, then that is handing the lead here to John Astrop in the number 8 Coca-Cola machine. So this is going to be a change of things.
Definitely. So Astrop has now inherited the lead. Zach has come on, said, I can do this. Watch this, boys. And he is out of here. He's now disconnected. He's going to let the boys race on. Not quite sure what happened there, but that's just handed Astrop the lead. He's away with it. We've got Fergo in second. Ezra, he's inherited third place. Geez, he will be wrapped with that. We've got Willie there in fourth. He's still trying to catch him. And Clerk in fifth. These guys are going for it. There is people moving up and down the field. Fabian now. Quick look to Fabian. He's moved himself up to 13th. Can you believe that? Up in a 13th.
He was not 15th, though, before when we were last looked. Yeah, 15th position I reckon he was just before, and I reckon I may have just heard in my ear the guy that we have just been talking about possibly disconnecting because he was too good for the race. It's Zach O'Reilly. How you going?
Good, mate. Thank you very much. I will be in and out of this one, and it'll be great. But have fun with the boys tonight, and that was a bit of fun. It's going to be some hot racing. Get back to it. Love you, gents.
Great driving, Zach. These things are loose as a goose, mate.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Enjoy the call and enjoy it out there, viewership land. We'll see you in a couple of moments on GD3s as well as Rangiart.
No problems. And there we go. There's a guest appearance for you, everyone. And while we're on that, let's talk about it. If you like what you see here, like, subscribe and get notified. Simsational TV and Rangiart Tuesdays. This is a fantastic event. If you're not having fun tonight, something's wrong, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a quick spiel about this Rangiart series that we've got. So the V8 Brutes we are running for the next 9 weeks. So Road Atlanta, which we are currently at, is opening up the series, and then we head over to New Zealand, and then it's off to Donington, Yas Marina, Red Bull Ring, Watson's Glen, Hungaro Ring, Queensland Raceway for a bit of a home round, and then rounding out the V8 Brutes in March 10th at Imola. And then you can see there as well, we're also doing a couple of wildcard events in the NASCARs around certain tracks around the place as well. But we'll also be running GT500 minis, Indy Lights, BMW M3 E30. So every 9 weeks, expect a bit of a change up, and on the 10th week, expect a NASCAR wildcard event. So it is going to be your year's worth of entertainment on a Tuesday night. And who's that? That's just going around. It's the Milwaukee car of Priest. What has happened there? He has lost a ton of positions.
Oh, and Rob was doing fantastic running in the top 20 there, which he would be wrapped with that. And he's just given it all away. His tyres are filthy. He's now on the grass. He's got to get it back on the track. He's just got a drive through for cutting the track as well. His night has gone from bad to worse. And then if we focus back now on Fabian up in a 12th. It looks like he's going around Wallace here. He's going for the outside. This could be a move. Wallace is going to have to concede that and just tuck back in. So now he's got Jason McFadden on his sides. Can this man get into the top 10? That is what I want to see. A tall ask, mate. But I mean, if anyone can do it, it's got to be this guy. And then I've just seen another battle. Tommy Corks. He is back on Andre. These two guys, they're going to go at it all night.
Absolutely. We have not been able to split them at all, and you can tell these guys are absolutely pushing it as well. Check out the power slide Tommy Corks was on through there, and the wheel work, because we're able to look into the cockpit just there a little bit as they head through turn 5, and you get to see him seesawing away at the steering wheel. That car is not a happy champion to be driving, but that is the whole point of these cars. It is meant to be difficult to drive. You are meant to be sweating by the time you come out of it. Now, Grey Ward's had an incident. Is this going to hand Fabian Fitness P11? And it looks like it will. So Fabian Fitness is now being given a free position. Grey Ward, he has going to be absolutely spewing with himself, because that would have been a unforced error. You can see the tyres still dirty on a massive power slide as he exits turn 6. So he has to get himself back together here, gather his thoughts, gather his bearings, because he is now under attack from Hayden Wallace right behind.
Definitely under attack, and then if we look down the field, here's more attacks. Here we've got Liam on Liam. Which Liam are we back in here? Geez, I love that livery, mate, of that Commodore, and that pains me to say that, but I love that livery. Have a go at that car. He's done a fantastic job of that. Can he get Hanley? He's ranging up on the back there. I've noticed that gap coming down. He's getting closer and closer and closer, trying to make a battle of it. I mean, it's another position. This is a top 15. Can we get a top 15 result for Liam Hollyoake? He's going to go for it. Handles there seems to be holding his own, though. Needs to make that car as wide as he possibly can. Hang in there, boys. It's all action, all up and down the field.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if it's for the win or absolutely plumb last. These guys will absolutely battle it out for all the sheep stations available to muster. So these guys expect the unexpected, and Dion Clerk at the moment as well, up in 5th position. He has been tucked up behind the Hot Wheels car for as long as I reckon this race has been going on. They have not been able to shake each other. But Willie has not been able to put the pace down enough to try and pull away. And then Dion here as well has not been able to find that tiny little couple of tenths or so to actually be able to try and get alongside the puller move.
Definitely, and I tell you what, that's a little surprising to me. Willie is a fast driver. I mean, this guy he doesn't muck around in any series he gets in, and he just seems to be struggling a little bit at the moment, but Dion having a great drive. Maybe it's because he drove for real on the weekend, I'm not quite sure, but I tell you what, whatever he's doing, he's bringing some class into this. He's ranging up on the back of Willie here. Not sure whether he can get it done. I've just noticed a car slipping into the pits there, so everyone's sort of now going into the pits. Tyres might be going off, but with only 4 minutes to go, geez, you'd think you'd stay out there and try and stay on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon because just before we had a pop-up say there was a drive-through, I reckon it may have been a drive-through being served by one of the back markers, trying just to get that out the way. You can see
of course.
Up. He's now taken the drive-through. So as I said it, that drive-through has now been served by Sean. So very good to make sure he gets it done in the race, because you don't want any sort of penalties overhanging your lap times or anything going into the next race, because the next race is going to be absolutely on, I reckon, from what we've seen so far this one.
Definitely. Everyone getting to grips in this race, just trying to get their act together, just trying to get a good feel of the car. Gray there, he's just gone around Hayden Wallace, and Cookie's around Wallace too. What's happened to Wallace? What's happened to Wallace? The man is on the grass. Stay on the black stuff, big fella. On the black stuff. It's easier said than done, though. If you've driven these cars around this track, you just get a little over adventurous. All it takes is to try and push it into a corner just once, just a little bit, and you're away. But look back up the front here. Dion's right there.
He is absolutely right there. He has done exactly what I was talking about. He has to find a tenth or two on each of his laps, maybe try and get a good exit at a corner or two. But he's done really well here because he's upset the racing line for Willie, and he's had to take a little bit of a tighter exit, and so that's going to ruin his run now as they head down into 11 and 12. You can see him trying to take a little bit of a shallower line, try and see if he can't get the exit. What a slide from the both of them. One of them was in the grass, the other one was on the inside, trying to hold it together. If these guys aren't pushing, I would like to know how more sideways they can get it and still go fast.
Mate, if that wasn't Tokyo Drift, I don't know what that was. That was synchronised swimming. That beautiful slide on both of them. They are both right on the edge. Willie will do everything to defend this position. And I tell you, Dion will do everything to try and take it off him. And then just behind those guys, Corksy. He's ranged up the back of Andre again. These two guys, they might as well be on a string. We can't separate them. They are right there together with each other. And I tell you what, he hasn't got much time. We're just over 2 minutes now in the race.
Yeah, that's what, 2 laps at best, depending on the positioning of where everyone is at the moment. Andre Elliott, we saw him qualifying, was not a very good one for himself. But as I said in that session, his race pace is absolutely mega. We saw him get a win or two in the Wednesday Cup last season, and just proving that the race pace is there. Maybe a little bit to work on in the qualifying department, but he has proved himself to get himself now up to that 6th position. He's set just about 8 seconds away from the 5th position, so in the very little time we've got remaining. A top 5 probably isn't on the cards, but absolutely possibly on the cards for a race too.
Definitely, and let's run through the field now. We've got Astrop out in front. He's got a nice little gap there to Ferguson. Then we come back at third. Ezra, he will be wrapped with that 3rd position. Willie, still under a bit of pressure there from Dion. I don't think that's over just yet. Andre in 6th. Corksy, he won't let up either. He'll be there right until the end. Remo in 8th. Cole's too slow in 9th. Not sure with that one, but let's go with it anyway. We got Jason. Jason he's had a quiet night. Haven't really had too much of Jason, but, you know, he's still doing all right. He's still going for it. Jason puts his foot down. He's in 10th. Not sure if he'll be happy with that, but let's see how we go. Fabian, the man, up into 11th place. He has pushed like anything. Gray in 12th. Hayden 13th. Wallace 14th. Hollyoak 15th. He got that job done on handles. Paul in 17th. Got a nice gap there. Doesn't have to worry about anything. Just head down, keep racing. Sadler 18th. Ryan Sullivan in the VB car. What else would you want to be in? 19th. Salmon in 20th. Streets 21st. Rob 22nd. Cosmo doing a great job there in 23rd. He looks like he's got McFadden coming up hard. And there's Buck. Sorry, Buck. And Sean North. Oh, there's another livery for us, mate.
Oh, does that not make you think about just classic liveries through up and down history? Because it's kind of like a little bit of his own twist on a couple of little classics. I love it when, especially in NASCAR, because they rapple the cars, they do like rustic sort of looks. I reckon there's even a Circuit Excel getting around that's got like a Spitfire sort of livery on it, but I'll talk about that later, because John Astrop, he crosses the line to take victory by only half a second. So on that last lap, that gap came down massively, and he'll take the win here in race 1, and is the first ever winner of the V8 Brutes Super Series, and that is something to hang high on the mantle in his Coca-Cola machine. Ezra, he will round out the podium just a mere 4 seconds away from the race win, and then Willie will hold on to 4th position, meanwhile backwards. And then it's Dion Clerk rounding out your top 5 in the Clifford Construction machine. Then Andre Elliott does hold on to that P6 with Tommy Corks only just behind him, about a second away. Remo Grand in 8th, Cole in 9th, and Jason McFadden rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, Jason, as I said, he's got a 10th there. Not sure he'll be happy with that. But Fabian, the man, back up to 11th position. That's a great drive. He'll get a shot with this next one. Grey Warden 12th. Cookie in 13th, Wallace in 14th, Hollyoak with that livery in 15th, Liam Hanley in 16th, Paul in 17th, Sadler 18th, Sullivan 19th, Salmon 20th, Streets, Priest, Cosmo, and Sorry Buck. What a race 1, and Sean North there, 2 laps down. I think he might have joined the server a bit late, so we'll get to see what he's all about in the next race. But for now, let's take a break, guys. Go and grab your drinks. Go and grab your snacks. We've got race 2 coming up. This one will be fiery. The boys will be ready for this one, Pete. What do you reckon?
I reckon it's absolutely on. They've had a bit of a test run now. We've had a practice. We've had a qualifying session. We now know what these cars are like in a race trim. So I reckon everyone's found their bearings and we are on for an absolute cracker.
Definitely. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will see you soon.
Motorsport isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. And when performance matters, you need gear you can trust. That's where ARD Importing comes in. ARD Importing brings world-class racing brands straight to New Zealand, supplying real racers, real teams, and real enthusiasts with proven performance products around the globe. We're talking JRP racing components, Zamp helmets and safety gear you can rely on the track, Red Cat Racing for high-performance RC action and intimate brake pads for serious stopping power when it counts most. Keep your engine protected with renewable lubricants, premium oils designed for extreme performance and durability. Turn up the volume with wicked audio, delivering powerful sound whenever the road or track takes you. And gear up with Spartan products built for durability, comfort, and race day durability. Whether you're racing dirt, at asphalt, or chasing lap times from home, ARD Importing has you covered. Sim racers as well, listen up, ladies and gentlemen, because ARD New Zealand is your importing source for all of Camus Racing sim gear. Precision wheels, professional grade pedals, immersive feedback that puts you right in the driver's seat. Train harder, race smarter, and feel every corner. From real-world racing to the virtual grid, ardimporting.co.New Zealand connects you with elite brands trusted by racers worldwide.
And welcome back. The lights are up. We are straight into this one. There's no mucking around at all. We've got McFadden in first. It's a reverse grid. So here goes McFadden off the start. Let's see what he can do. He is away. We've got to start. Look at this gaggle of cars. There are cars everywhere. Hang on, people. I just need to escape to the pits here. If we don't do this one, I tell you what, I'm going to upset a lot of people. Let's go back. McFadden seems to be getting swamped, but all down the field, it's all happening. We've got Corksy there. We've got cars. Look at how wide this is. I don't even know where to look. Fabian into 11th. Liam Hanley pushing through up the back there. Gray Ward, they're just starting to sort himself out here. There's a little touch. He's just said to Fabian, welcome to the series. They are off now. Back up the front, we've got McFadden. He's pulled a good lead on Coles. Corksy's right with him. There's a little bit of a gap there back to Remo. Andre, he's trying to stay there. He'll want a strong result in this one. He'll be trying to go as far as he possibly can. Dion's there as well. Ezra, as we all start to file into single now. Astrop, he'll be pushing for it. He's in 8th. Guys weaving all over the field there. Gray Ward trying to go up the inside of Fabian. How is the weaving, Pete? It's on already.
It is absolutely on. Everyone's trying to get those early positions while everyone is still all together, because it's going to be much more easier to get these one done early. But we have to remember as well, at least the drivers have to remember as well, you cannot win the race on the opening lap, but you can well and truly lose it. So they've got to be careful. Everything is going to be cold. The brakes aren't up to temperature. The tyres are cold, so they're not going to have the grip going through the corners. There's a little bit of a touch going into the braking zone between, that was Ostrop and Ferguson, first and second from the other race, and they are absolutely back at it inside the top 10. You've got Andre Elliott making it up further through the field with Remo Grain. He's lost a couple of positions. So the Valvoline car falling back through the field, and hopefully does not lose another position, because he does not want that to try and make these positions back up. There was a bit of a move going on ahead, going into turn 1. How did that end up? It was Cole still ahead of Tommy Corks. I reckon he kind of backed out of that one, because that track narrows up very quickly going into turn 1. Very difficult to run side by side, let alone, as we've been seeing, sometimes 3 wide.
Definitely. 3 wide is not a thing through here. They're battling here. We got Fabian, Gray and Ferguson. There is 3 hard heads if ever I heard it, mate. These 3 guys, they won't be afraid to throw a car left, right, centre. They will not care. This will be on for young and old. And now I just seen Andre. He's up on Corksy, so this is on for the 3rd position. The Rangi boys are really going to push through now.
Yeah, absolutely. He kind of faked to the inside, trying to see if he can't put Tommy Corks offline just a little bit, and he's still tucked up right behind. This is the only part of the circuit where these absolute brick of a car could get any sort of slipstream benefit. Any other part of the circuit, just forget about trying to get a slipstream. And I reckon he may be trying to shape up a move, because now the gap between the two is less than a 1/10 of a second going into the downhill braking zone. And there he goes, and Andre Elliott has absolutely sent it down the inside. Is he going to be able to get it going? But we're 3 wide. Back here, there's contact in the braking zone. Is Ferguson going to get out of here cleanly? He absolutely does, and crucially is back ahead of John Ostrop, who's now got Ezra Simmons between himself and Tommy Corks and Adrian Ferguson, sorry, that is for Ostrop. So he has actually become a bit of a big loser there going through there, and he's now trying to hang out around the outside to try and get any sort of position gains. But he is going to be absolutely fuming that he was on the receiving end of that absolutely beautiful move. Someone's gone wide in the background trying to go around the outside of the Hot Wheels car, and that was Gray Ward. So a bit of a touch on the grass there. Definitely how you lose a heap of grip, and he's going to lose all of his momentum heading through these S's.
Not sure if he wasn't assisted there. I'm sure I saw Willie moving out to the outside. I think there was a bit of a side action, but it's all fun and games. It's all fair racing here. But look at this within the top 10. I don't even know where to look at the moment. Dion, he's got right on his heels Corksy, and Corksy won't let go. Remo's right there. Here we go. Here's a battle for you. Fitness, he's just gone around Astrop, so he's going to try and make it up here. He will want to go as far as he possibly can and assert himself in this series. It's what this man does very well. Head down, just drives, gets on with the job. Ferguson's right there as well. He's right on the back of Remo. Oh, this will be a move. This will be a move down the hill here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Using that little bit of slipstream that is available. It's Falcon versus Commodore, Holden versus Vaughn, red versus blue. Who is going to come out on top? It's going to be the Falcon around the outside of the Commodore, and he sweeps across to take the move. That was a brilliant overtake from Ferguson, and all over the place on the exit. A little bit of grass, a little bit of curb, a little bit of paint, a little bit of everything of this Road Atlanta circuit. and behind as well. It looks like it was maybe the Valvoline car out so wide, and he's going to lose a ton of positions, and he's actually in the fence, so it has all gone wrong for himself. He very well, though, does get it gathered back up to hopefully not cause too much damage to his vehicle and not too much time lost, but that is a massive mistake, and they're trying to go side by side. Fitness pushed off to the grass on the infield. He can't take the position away. That'll be an unfair advantage, so he slips on back in between the two, back onto the grass though. His tires are dirty, so he's not going to have any grip or whatsoever with the very little grip these cars already provide.
Definitely, that was a bit of argy-bargy, and it sort of got messy there, but Fabian did a great job of gathering that up in the infield and then just pulled it on the track, did the right thing, slotted in behind Ezra, but he didn't have to let Astrop pass, and that was exactly what he did. But what that's done is, have a look, Willie in the back there, that's made this quite a tight pack. You've got Remo coming up, and Grey Ward as well, and let's face it, Grey will have a go. These guys, it's really starting to bunch up now. Let's go and have a look up the front there. Jason, all out on his own. He doesn't have any trouble at the moment. He's doing a great job in first position. Just out there, just counting the laps down. Coles is about 2.5, I just saw 2.5 seconds behind. There we go, we've got Andre, and Andre's pushing for third, but is he going to get away with it? Dion is right on his hammer.
Absolutely is. This is the race pace that we've been expected from Andre Elliott. Now moves himself up into that third position, but he's got a bit of a gap to close up if he wants to try and get himself any higher up of this pecking order here in the V8 Super Series. And it is Andrew Ferguson who now sets the fastest lap time of the race so far. So he is absolutely pushing, and he finds himself currently in 6th position, 8/10 away from Tommy Forbes, who is the next car on his list to try and get by. And you can see the way that the cars are actually riding over the curbs. They're kind of dipping one wheel on the other side, because by dipping one wheel on the other side, yes, you are running a wheel in the grass and it could lose you a little bit of grip, but you are now using the car to get turned by using that curb. And who was that? That was super wide. That was Fabian Fitness getting his way through Ezra Simmons in the Milwaukee car. And so he ran super wide, has lost 2 positions, make that nearly 3. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he doesn't. He thinks better of it. It would have been a very audacious move to try and go for it there. Try and set yourself up now. Try and get the run at going down this big back straight. And you can see here as well, moves up and down to the field. Aiden Wallace is now in a battle. Sorry, excuse me, there with Paul as well. And the Irwin car now going down the inside ahead of the Jim Beam car, and that is P14 for Paul, all done and dusted.
Mate, there is battles all up and down the field, and here he is, Dean Verrill. Dean Verrill on Liam Hanley. Now, this is a quick customer himself. This man will not be afraid to have a go. He's just going to sit with Liam. This will be an overtaking move. Let's ride with these guys and see what happens. He's gone to the outside there. Now it's a pure game of chicken down the hill. Who is going to break the latest? Liam taking the inside line. He's going to try and hold it here, but I tell you, Dean will just go right around the outside. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. He is out of here. Great move by Dean. Great driving. Let's go back up here. Fitness at Astrop. Look at these guys, Pete.
Yeah, look at that. And I reckon behind they were nearly 3 wide as well. We've got kind of got like 2 separate battle packs here. It's almost like NASCAR pack drafting. But you're going through the S's because they were 2 by 2 for a moment. They're heading into this first part of this S's, and you see a little bit of argy-bargy, a little bit of contact. They're unsettling each other, but they're still side by side. This is the part of the track where we said you can't go side by side. They just managed to filter into one lane, albeit though Remo Drain did have to go all 4 wheels off of the circuit, so that may be a track violation to his name there. Get too many of those, and we've seen a couple so far in this stream. You will receive a drive-through penalty. Once you receive a drive-through penalty, that is race over.
Definitely race over for the series, race over for this one anyway, which really hurts your series. That's what I'm trying to say here. And you don't want to do that. You want to just stay on it and stay with it. Gray here, right on the back of Remo. That time, it's 0.2 of a second. He's been there the whole time. Is he going to make a move down into this? This seems to be the place to make the move, Pete. Must be a strong move for everyone to make. I mean, I come down this hill. I tell you what, I'm a little bit nervous.
Yeah, it's going to be a very challenging overtake. We've seen plenty of moves around the outside, not so many going down the inside. If you're going to try and go down the inside, you almost want to overrun the corner and do exactly that. Bit of a NASCAR slide job and a bit of a power out, throttle out on the exit for good measure. And that is how you make a move down the inside into turn 10. at Road Atlanta. You kind of overdrive it onto the entry, so you get the track position against your competitor. You block them on the exit because it's very easy to set up a switchback between turns 10A and 10B. That's Hayden Wallace. He's gone for a bit of a spin. We'll have to work out if that one was assisted or just all by himself. It was on the exit of turn 10B, so very possibly could have just been a bit of too much of the gas on the exit. And now you've got Dean here running a little bit slow, so maybe a mistake from the Auckland Steel car as well.
Definitely there's a mistake there, and I mean these guys were all sort of into it. Here we go, it's Liam on Liam again. These two guys, seems to be a nice even match going on here for these two, so these two could start to battle it out. Down the field here, where's that beautiful looking car? Here it is, North's car. Here's that beautiful, I mean I just want to concentrate on that thing. That is a great livery. That is 100% a great job. That's how you do it. And he's down in 23rd. Buck here running all on his own in 24th. Love how Buck drives a car. He just head down, drives, doesn't care about anyone else, doing a fantastic job. There's movers and shakers going on all over the shop here. The timing tower's having a bit of an attack here. It doesn't know what it's doing. They're starting to creep out a bit now. I'm starting to see the second gaps between everyone. Closest one at the moment, mate, Remo on Gray. Can he get that position back?
It's going to be a battle for the absolute ages. These guys have been going at it hammer and tong in race 1 and now at race 2 as well. And these guys definitely know how to put on a show. We see them both race very often in the Wednesday Cup, and again, in completely different cars, their pace is nearly identical to each other. You just cannot separate them. They're like the Chaz Mosser and Cam Waters of sensational TV racing.
Definitely. That's an analogy we all love. But looking up the front now, Dion has really closed that gap to Andre. So Dion has not let go of this. I tell you, him racing on the weekend, that's given him a bit of a leg up here. This man is on. They're all over the curbs. This is pushing. Can he get Dre? It's going to be a battle here. Andre will want that third position. He will not want to give that up. But I tell you, Dion's right there. He's saying, you know, I'm not quite sure whether I'll let you have it, mate. And we've got just over 8 minutes to go. There's a good chance something's going to happen here.
Absolutely. You saw there just briefly as well. There was a bit of a mistake from Andre. He was already being hounded by by Clerk behind him, and he made the mistake of putting all 4 wheels into the grass, and that kind of unsettled him trying to get himself all turned into turn 5. And that has allowed now Dion here to get mighty close to the point. He's even looking to pull alongside, and he is alongside. We saw a brilliant move down the inside just a moment ago. Are we going to see back-to-back down the inside moves? He backs out of it, and look at that. Andre Elliott reads the play beautifully and cuts to the apex to lose as little time as possible. And so in the end, by going for that overtake, look at the gap that has now formed between the two, because he compromised his racing line, and he now has Andrew Ferguson right behind him now. And there is Tommy Corks, just a little bit further behind, but is closing on this gap as they continue to lose time by battling each other.
Definitely, and Fergo, he's not someone you want up behind you, mate. This guy, he will push, he will fill those mirrors, he makes you nervous as anything. He's using the car park there. He's using as much of the course as he possibly can to get the most out of this ute. But I tell you what, it's giving him pace. It's giving him time. He's moved that thing up now. These 3 guys are very tight. All it's going to take is one little mistake from someone, and this is going to get very messy very quick, or we're going to see a position change, and it could be 3 position changes in one.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw that it was Dion who ran a bit wide there, and now he finds himself under attack from Ferguson. Last lap around, it was Elliott who made the mistake. He got himself now under attack from Dion, and now it's Dion's turn to do the exact same thing that Andre did only a lap ago, but this time, I reckon he's just got enough of the gap. I reckon, unless the slipstream between the 2 Falcons is going to be unearthly, like out of this world slipstream powers, I don't think there's going to be a move on. You'll have to be super brave under the brakes, and these guys don't have the greatest braking capacity. It's very good for the type of car it is, but it is definitely very much of a challenge. He does try to look around the outside, very nearly got it done, but has the door absolutely slammed shut. And here is a move that we saw coming a little bit ago. It was John Ostrop. We saw him pull down the order just a little bit in at the opening stages of the race. He's slowly clawing his way back through the field, now finds himself in 7th position and just got by Fabian Fitness.
Just got by Fabian, but I tell you what, that was real tight between those guys. This is going to make him vulnerable down into this corner. Fabian just seems to be driving it a little bit bit smoother at the moment. Just like you can see the back of the car, it's not doing a Beyonce impersonation. It's just giving him a little bit of speed, just a little bit of an edge. But I tell you what, I cannot take my eyes away from these front runners at the moment. Fergo is still right there on Dion. Right there.
Yeah, he absolutely is. These guys, I reckon this is going to be one with only 5 minutes left to go. This is going to be one that's going to have to come down to the checkered flag to work out how it's going to
Oh, what's happened?
Oh, no! Who's that? That's Fabian Finnis. He's made a mistake, so now he's falling down the field as well. He was sitting in 7th position, now finds himself, 8th position, now finds himself outside of the top 10. It was a mistake in race 1. He saw himself backwards at the exit of turn 1 at on lap 2, sorry it was, and now he finds himself with another mistake to drop him, not, luckily this time around, not to plumb last, but he is now outside the top 10, and with only 4 and a bit minutes left, is there enough time for him to try and gain roughly about 3 seconds for him to get himself back inside that top 10?
He's going to have to push, but here we go. I need to come back up here again. Fergo is right up there. He's right up the back of Clerk. He's come up that inside a couple of times. He's just trying to get the move done. I don't think he's getting enough pace out of that corner just before the straight to try and pull alongside and try to get the move done. They get super close down there, and then he's just got to back out of it. But I tell you what, there's still battles up and down the field. It's still going on. Let's go down the field, Pete. What do you reckon? Let's have a look down the field.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what these 4 remaining minutes have to offer with ourselves here. So you've got Hayden Cook here down in 13th position. He's currently trying to find himself a little bit further up the field, but kind of finds himself in a little bit of no man's land. 5 seconds in front of him, 10 seconds behind him. And then behind him, though, that 10 seconds adrift is Alan Poole in that machine as well. And then Holyoke in that beautifully presented car in 15th position. And then it is Hanley in 16th. He's still holding on to those 2 in front of him, but does find himself 2 seconds adrift from the others. There's battle up in front, though. Ferguson, he's got himself ahead of Dion Clerk. And look at this battle that is absolutely kicking off.
A lap marker.
Was that a bit of a lapped car scenario that held him up just a tiny little bit? Because look who's brought himself now into this battle. It's Tommy Quartz in the Falcon and tucked in right behind. And Elliott, he now gets himself up into 2nd position. What's going on here? The top 3 have closed up massively. When has this happened? It's now only a second separating the top 3 with 3 minutes remaining.
There's been a mare somewhere, I tell you now, these guys, this is how you heat up a race with only 3 minutes to go. They're starting to bunch up now, the top 3. So who wants it more? Cole's Too Slow is right there. He's right behind Andre. He's not going to let go of him. This has now brought it up. Here we go. We've got a little bit of action now. Jason, he had a beautiful gap. He does not anymore. I mean, Jace, we can give him all the cheer squad he wants, but I tell you what, it's just not working for him. Heard a rumour about him. Anyway, let's move on. So he's there, and Andre in 2nd. He's now closed that to under a second. He seems to have pulled a little bit away from Cole's Too Slow, so he might have a little bit of pace on him. But these 2 Rangiart guys, if you think that they're friends, I mean, same livery, they're mates off track, but on the track, they both want the win.
Yeah, the friendship bracelets, get absolutely thrown off when they jump into the sim rigs, don't they? And we said at the start of the broadcast as well, these Rangiart guys, they weren't too hot in the qualifying sessions, but be sure for them to find their way in at the front when it came to the race. Their race pace is absolutely unmatched, and McFadden there with a massive slide on the exit there of turn 7. And as predicted, it's now Rangiart 1 and 2 in race 2 here. They're going to take off the top 2 spots unless in the next lap and a bit they manage to possibly take each other out. Not going to say it. Not going to say it. Don't want to commentate's curse. Not going to say it. But we're taking a look now at Dion Clerk here because he is trying to get himself with Adrian Ferguson here. These 2 have been going absolutely at it for ages. They've dropped Tommy Quarks just a bit of a squeeze to the apex, but he holds on to the position just for now. Is the exit there? The exit is there for Ferguson. They're going to go side by side. Dare they go side by side? A little bit of a touch up. And I reckon that was Ferguson just backing out with that little bit of a touch-up and how much of that car got unsettled. And that is just how unweighty these cars are, especially through the high-speed corners. One little tiny touch and you might as well go off to Narnia.
Definitely, mate, definitely. And I tell you what, that was nice, respectful racing there. There was obviously a little touch and Fergo just backed out of it. Just gave Clerk a little bit of room there to gather it all together, but that's just inviting Tommy Corks in. And I tell you, if I can think of a couple of names, he's definitely one of them. You do not want to invite this man back into it. But up the front here, This is getting spicy. We're going to have there'll be one lap after this one. This could even be the final lap, mate. And look at this for a battle.
I reckon with the way they're racing each other, a little bit of a touch there through turn 7. I reckon they're racing as if they think it is going to be the last lap of this one round. I reckon it will be with only 20 seconds left on the clock. They'll almost use up the rest of the time just going down this back straight with how large it is. And it's going to be advantage probably to Andre Elliott, actually, with the power of the slipstream. He's got really only one overtaking opportunity left. Is he going to take it? He's going to have to be super late onto the brakes as now the clock runs down to 0. He goes to the outside. Is he going to hold on to it? No, it is going to be McFadden. He overdrives the corner, chops off Andre Elliott on the exit of the corner, and he is going to sweep around as long as he can keep it tidy. 3, 12, and 11. He will take victory here for Rangiart 1-2. McFadden ahead of Elliott and Cole on the podium as well. Clerk, he will just hold on to that P4 with Ferguson holding the grass to cross the line in 5th. Tommy Corks, Ostrop, Simmons, Willie, and Graham Ward will round out your top 10, but it is McFadden taking the win in race 2.
McFadden with a beautiful drive there. He held his nerve, held it all together. Andre in 2nd with a gallant attempt there to try and take it from him. Coles, as you said, in 3rd. Great drive. Clerk in 4th. Ferguson, oh, look at the antics going on here. There might be a few scores being settled there. Corks in 6th. Look at this man. He will put on a drift show for us, ladies and gentlemen. Can handle a car. Astrop.
Mr. Drifter.
Great drive, Astrop. Great drive. That man come through, did a fantastic job. Simmons, he's in 8th. Ezra will be happy with that. Willie in 9th. Oh, he's just there watching the smoke show. Gray at top 10. That'll be a great effort for him. He should be happy with that one. Fabian into 11th after that little bit of a mishap. Grand in 12th. Cookie 13th. There's the other Rangiart guy. Paul in 14th. Hollyoak 15th. I still love that livery, Pete.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
And then let's keep going through here. 16th, Liam Hanley. 17th, Sadler. Dean Verrill in 18th. He would have been hoping for better than that. He'll get to grips with these cars. He'll be one to watch in the future. Sullivan, North. Another great livery there. Up into 20th. What a great run from him. Wallace in 21st. Salmon in 22nd, sorry. Priest in 23rd. And Buck in 24th. Well, I mean, this had everything, didn't it?
It absolutely did. I thought for a moment there, with about 5 minutes left to go, the lead and the race was pretty much done and dusted with McFadden out in front. And then something has happened because all of a sudden the top 3 were nose to tail, and we had the battle for the win come down to the final corners. What more do you want in a motor race? It took the 20 minutes for the battle for the lead to come down to the wire, but I am happy, always happy, to wait the time for a grandstand finish.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what a drive from these two guys. They were really laying it all on the line in the end there. Andre, as I said, these guys, they're friends off track, but like you said, that friendship bracelet comes off and they were going for it. They wanted the position. Coles, come out of nowhere. What a great drive from him. Dion, another great drive. There's been, great drives up and down the field. If you had to pick a driver of the day, mate, who is your driver of the day for today?
Oh, it's really tough to choose one because we have had grandstand drives up and down the field. You had Fabian Fitness from last to close to a top 10, and then from making a mistake back to nearly inside the top 10. But I reckon I might just give it to Mr. Consistency, Andre Elliott, because he has made an absolute comeback through the field for his qualifying results and has ended up with a podium finish in race 2. And has also managed to score decent points in race 1 despite the poor quality.
Definitely. Mate, these guys, they've really turned it on tonight. Thank you so much for joining in, everyone. It's been great. There is a lot of stuff going on with Rangiart. This is only the first race of the season. Let's have a look here. We've got Brute Utes Road Atlanta. Next Tuesday, we're off to New Zealand again. Oh, here we go. I mean, all through this year, we've got a jam-packed calendar. Pete, these series, these guys are going to race this hard every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I'm most excited for is when we get to August and they're racing the Indy Lights. That is going to be a car that is going to be way different to anything we drive in this series. You got high power V8 with low grip for the V8 Brutes for the opening 9 races. And then you've got a little bit something with a little bit more downforce with the GT 500. It's a bit of a faster car too. And then you've got mini go-karts. It is the minis. And then you're off to high grip, high downforce, decent power, open wheelers. So way out of the norm to what we're going to be seeing in this series. And then it's off to a bit of a classic to the BMW M3 E30. And then every 10th race, we'll be jumping in a NASCAR for a once-off race. You can see there at the bottom of the graph there, it is Daytona, Phoenix, Chicagoland, Atlanta, and Milwaukee. Now, those are going to be ones to watch.
What an absolute action-packed lineup. But I tell you what, if tonight's racing's anything to go by, you're certainly going to want to be here next Tuesday, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Thank you all very much for joining us. I'm Dean Handley. I've been with Pete. Pete, I thank you again for jumping in, mate. I've had an absolute blast tonight.
It has been absolutely great to be back in the commentary box after a bit of a Christmas break.
Definitely nice to blow the cobwebs off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope to see you next Tuesday. And remember, keep it flat out.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.